kind of different episode of Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. What I wanted to do today is, seeing that it's been a while since I've actually made a video on this game, I want to show what I've been doing in this game since that last video. I actually have been pumping out fleets left and right, and I have 10 to 12 new fleets in total now. So I just wanted to go over my new fleets, see which fleets you guys liked and that you wanted to see in new videos. So, okay, so this is not what I want, but anyway, do this. So, to begin, we have the Silent Fleet Apocalypse. 5 base stars, all with raiders. 4 nukes in total at the Cauldron, Rakitan, and the Vaduas. Furthermore, we have 1 torpedo at the Crimea base star. This fleet is basically used for, the reason I built the fleet the way it is because base stars can take an insane amount of damage. And also because I have 5 base stars, which means I have 10 wings of fighters, which is very useful. Moving on, we have the Colonial Fleet Armageddon. 3 Jupiter Battlestars and 1 James. The reason I've deployed the fleet as it is because I use the Jupiter Battlestars as a defense for the Thanatos Janus cruiser. What they do is, if we look at it this way, the fleet turns like that. So we'll get the Janus over here facing this direction, and the Jupiter's over here. And which one's the middle one? Okay, the Undine is the middle one. The Undine uses its flak for 2 or 3 rounds after the Vipers are launched and are engaging the enemy fleet, scouting. After 2 or 3 rounds, the Undine's flak I turn that off and use the Ether and the Circuit to cover all 3 ships while the Undine's flak reloads for a turn. From time then I turn these 2 off again and the Undine goes on again. From time to time the Janus dips up above the Aether, fires its loads of torpedoes at 1 target, then dips down again. Now, then we have the Jupiter, the Colonial Fleet's Battle Fleet Cadia, which you should all already be familiar with. So I'm not really gonna explain this fleet. And then we have Battle Fleet Calixis. This one, oh well, I noticed actually I should. Oh, well, I cannot save this one. I should actually deploy it differently with the battle stars in the middle and the Janus on the outside, because it's gonna split into 2 battle groups. These ones here are gonna turn left, these ones here are gonna turn right, basically trying to create a pincer movement. We have 3 nukes. On the Argus we have 2 nukes and 1 torpedo. On the Ballista we have 1 nuke, 1 torpedo and 1 guided missile. Both Jupiters, the Saratoga and the Styx are both equipped with 4 Mark II Vipers and 2 guided missile slots. Then we have the most well-known fleet of the bunch, which is Battle Fleet Gothic. Again, you have already seen how I use this fleet, so I'm not really going to explain that. Then we have another new one, Battle Fleet Olympus. We have 2 battle stars with nukes and 1 with guided missiles. All 3 of them are equipped with Mark III Vipers. This is basically just a wrecking ball. It punches through the enemy lines using the flak and their fighters, getting close quarters combat with the enemy fleet, and just wipe them out then and there. And then we come to the second to last colonial fleet, Battle Fleet Solar. A Jupiter class with 2 Mark I Vipers and a nuke. A Adamant frigate with one squad, a guided missile, and a berserker with one Mark 1. The reason that it's Mark 1s and not Mark 2s is because it's a 4,000 point fleet, not an 8,000 point fleet. Otherwise I would have, of course, made it Mark 2s and probably put in another Jupiter. Then we come to the second Chaos fleet of the evening, Chaos Eternus. Two Phobos cruisers, both equipped with torpedoes and raiders, a Revenant gunship, and a Nemesis corvette with a nuke. The reason I put the nuke in the Nemesis corvette is because it's quick, and because the way I play this usually is jump in closely with my Phobos, have it focused on them, bombard the enemy with torpedoes weakening their armor, then launch the nuke on the biggest target, then jump my Phobos cruisers out again, and then just finish them off on one range. This isn't actually exactly 4,000 point fleet. Then we go on to an exactly 8,000 point fleet, Chimera. We have 3 base stars, all with 2 nukes and 2 raider squadrons. We have a Cerberus carrier with 3 heavy raider squadrons, and a Nemesis corvette with guided missiles. I actually have begun taking a liking to using heavy raiders because they're extremely useful for taking out the heavier ships. Both in multiplayer and single player, they're extremely useful. So the way I deploy this fleet is the raiders of all the base stars go on and scout and wipe out any enemy fighters. Then once I have air superiority, the heavy raiders are launched, board whatever the biggest ship is. At the same time, my base stars fire nukes at every other ship. If after that the things are still standing and we have come into close range, the heavy raiders recall to the Cerberus, reload their ground forces, and then a second boarding action takes place. The Nemesis corvette is basically here because I want some extra points, and hacking is always useful. Well, then we come to the Despair fleet of Cylon Despair fleet, which everybody already knows. So again, not really gonna explain it. 2 base stars, 2 Phobos cruisers, 2 Cerberus cruisers, and 1 Cerberus gunship. Then we have Fortress of Agony, which was basically I built this fleet to troll my girlfriend. But she plays this game as well. She hasn't played it for long, so she isn't really well versed in combat yet. But the reason I built this is because the way I built this is 4 base stars with every base star has 2 raider squadrons and 2 torpedo squadrons. So I basically can just spam torpedoes all match long. Then I have 2 Phobos cruisers, both with 1 heavy raider squadron and 1 torpedo. These are basically used for taking out the larger ships. I can jump in. It usually takes 2 heavy raider squadrons to take down anything mid-range size. If I'm playing against Colonial and they put their defense on, it takes 3 heavy raider squadrons, but you can usually go with the assumption that 2 heavy raider squadrons can take out any ship if it's in standard mode. Then we have the fleet, the Cylon fleet Harbinger. Again, I've been much beginning to take a liking to using nukes. So we have 3 base stars, all with 2 nukes, 1 raider squadron, 1 heavy raider squadron, a Phobos cruiser with a raider squadron and torpedo, and a Nemesis corvette with cluster bombs, which is very useful for using against things like Battlestars, because then I can basically fuck the flag up. They can't use the flag, and my heavy raider can board them. Then we have the Terminus S, which people also already know. 1 base star, torpedo, proximity mine, 2 raiders, Phobos cruiser, torpedo, heavy raider times 2. Then we come to the last fleet of the evening, which again was a fleet I built to absolutely troll someone. The Ultramar Defense Fleet. 3 Janus cruisers completely filled to the goddamn brim with nukes. And 2 element frigates, both with guided missiles and Mark 1 fighters. Both Adamants are in this fleet setup basically scatterbrained. I speed them forward as fast as I can, drop them in the middle of the fleet so I can see everything, and then basically the Januses can begin bombarding everything with nukes. 9 out of 10 times that's extremely effective, because who would expect that I'd bring 9 nukes into a battle? And again, with how the fighters have been programmed now, if you're playing against them and they select a target, all fighters go to the same target. So let's say they defend one ship. I have 9 nukes, so they might catch 1 or 2 of my nukes, while every other one of them will still hit their mark, which is extremely useful. Then either the ship is outright destroyed or so weakened that the elements can deal with it, and even if the elements are destroyed, the guns of the Janus are not that terrible. So those are all the fleets I currently have set up. Now, I would love to hear from all of you which fleets you would like to see featured in a future video, which I intend to make pretty soon. As soon as my girlfriend has time to play, because multiplayer is kind of dead at the moment. But just let me know in the comments which fleets of these you would like to see in action. Well, and I hope you all enjoyed seeing my new fleets, and I hope to see you all in the next video. See ya.